What up, gang? Welcome back or welcome in if it's your first time here. And today I'm gonna run you through how I made this little bag on hearts. So grab your substances of choice. Today I am on the homemade coffee in the mocha pot. Let's get into it.
Hi, it's Danielle here. The audio quality in some parts of the video is going to be a bit off, but it should get better relatively early in the video. Apologies for that. Now let's get back to the video.
Right, to start off with, the whole thing is just Tunisian crochet, even the strap as well. And I did the squares 4x4 stitches. And just to show you how I guys did it, I'm gonna use two colors of blue. The light blue is gonna be the hearts, and then the rest is gonna be the dark blue. So we start from the bottom. So your first chain is going to be the bottom of the bag, and we're just going to work up to the top. Right, so to start off, I have 8 squares on the bottom of my bag. So my bag is 8 squares by 8 squares going up. You can do whatever size you guys want, but I just thought this size is best. And to have 8 squares on the bottom, each 4 stitches by 4 stitches, I had to chain 57. And how I did the maths for that is you take the number of stitches in your square, so 4, you multiply it by 2, then you subtract 1, so then you get 7, and you multiply that by the number of squares you want in the row, so times 8. And that's how you get 56. And then you add 1 to account for when you're gonna turn and do your first stitch. So plus 1, and that gives you 57 stitches for the initial chain, the foundation chain. Right, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Sorry for the abrupt change of lighting, but this part did not record earlier, and now it's 8 p.m. and I'm doing this again. But thank you for being patient with me. We'll be back to daylight after this. But now that we have 57 chains, we are going to start doing our first square, and to do that we are going to go into the second stitch from our hook, and I like to do this in the back loops of my chains just to keep them nice and neat. So we're not going to go into this first one, we're going to go into the second one. We're going to pull through a loop, and now we have 2. We're going to keep those 2 on our hook, and we're going to go into the next loop, into the next stitch of the chain. Yarn over, pull through another loop, and now you should have 3 loops on your hook. And we're going to do that again. We're going to go into the next stitch on the chain, pull through a loop. We have 4, and we're going to do that once more. Go in the next stitch, pull up a loop. Now that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook, we're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 only, and now you should have 4 loops. We're going to yarn over again, pull through the next 2. You have 3 loops. We're going to yarn over again, pull through the next 2, and yarn over again and pull through the last 2. And this is your first row of your square. Now we're going to go into these vertical loops here, and what we're going to do is go through this first one, yarn over, pull up a loop. And just like before, we leave those two on the hook and we go into the next one, yarn over, pull up a loop again, and we'll go through the last one, yarn over, pull up a loop. And now that we have 4, we're going to go into the next stitch from the foundation chain. Yarn over, pull up a loop. And now again that we have 5, we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through the last 2. And we're going to do that again. These are the vertical lines that we're going to go through. So 1, 2, and 3 here. So we go through the first one, yarn over, pull up a loop. We go through the second one, yarn over, pull up a loop. We go through the third one, yarn over, pull up a loop. And lastly, we go into the next stitch of our foundation chain. Pull up a loop. Now that we have 5, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through the last 2. Right, now we've done that 3 times, and to finish up our square, we're going to do the same thing, but instead of pulling up loops, we're going to do slip stitches. So we go through the first one, yarn over, and instead of keeping this loop, we're going to finish up with a slip stitch. And we're going to do the same thing again in the second vertical loop, pull up a slip stitch, and then through the third one, and then another slip stitch into the foundation chain. And this is your first square. I'm going to do one more square with you guys. So we've done our slip stitch, and we go into the foundation chain again to pull up a loop, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and into the next stitch, pull up a loop, till you have 5 loops on your hook. So if you're doing bigger squares, you should always have the number of stitches on the side of your square plus 1, and that's the number of loops that you should have on your hook. So as I have 4 by 4 squares, I have 5 loops on my hook. Right, so we go yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that's row 1, and then we're going to do that again. Go in the first one, pull up a loop, in the second one, pull up a loop, in the third one, pull up a loop, and then in the foundation chain, pull up a loop. Oh. And we yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Right, and we do that again. Pull up a loop, go through, pull up a loop, go through, pull up a loop, and into the foundation chain, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through the last 2. And we do that 3 times, and the last row is slip stitches. So we go into that same vertical loop, pull up a slip stitch. Next one, slip stitch. Next one, slip stitch, and a slip stitch into the foundation chain. And you continue like this until you reach the end of the foundation chain, and your last slip stitch of your last square should be into that first stitch of your foundation chain. And if it's not, there's something wrong with your mats about how much you need to chain at the beginning.
And once you reach the end of the row, so that's my last slip stitch into my last stitch of the foundation chain. You should have something like this. Don't worry if it's wrinkly, it always is. But yeah, that's your very bottom of the bag. So that is this row right here. So yeah, for the next one, we're gonna start incorporating the color change, so the hearts. And we're gonna do every 2. So we're gonna do 1, 2 red ones or dark blue ones, and then we're gonna do 1 of those, 1, 2 of the darker color, and then 1 of the other one. Only on the corners. So if I stretch it corner like this, you will see that it's 1 pink. So you do 1 pink, and then 1 red, and then 1 pink again. But it's really easy to notice where the corners are. They're just at each end of this row. And at the end of each row, you have to tie off your yarn and either cut it off and then just weave in the ends. But what I like to do, just to save myself some effort, is after I do that last slip stitch, I'll do 1 chain, I'll tighten it, and then I'll leave it, and I'll see if I can incorporate this color anywhere close to where I've ended this row. And how we can start is from the corner, because we have 1 blue square needs to go around this corner. So how you start is from the corner of a square, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and you go into that 4th stitch. So it should be at the corner of your square, this stitch. So we go in through that one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And it doesn't matter where you start your row from. You can start it from here, you can start it from the middle. So let's say if I want to start it from this one, I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll go into that 4th one. So just to show you guys once more, we will go from this stitch where we've slip stitched at the end of the square. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and go into that 4th one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can start my row from here or wherever, it doesn't matter. But to save myself some trouble, I know that on the corner here is a blue one, so I can just, instead of cutting this yarn and having to attach it again, I'll just go into that 4th stitch, I'll grab this, I'll pull it through, and then just tighten it at the other end. And that's it, just so I don't have to cut it and attach it again. So yeah, we go for the next row, we go once again, go through, pull up a loop, go through, yep, pull up a loop, go through the last one, pull up a loop, and on the corner you have to go through the other side of this same square. So now that I have 4 loops on my hook, I will go through 1, 2, 3, 4, this stitch here. Hope that's clear to see. It's just the first stitch on the other side, and pull up a loop. And then we'll do the same thing as before, just 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll do it again. We go through, pull up a loop, we'll go through the next one, pull up a loop, we go through the next one, pull up a loop, and then we'll go through the next stitch, which is going to be this one. pull up a loop. And don't worry, it does feel a bit weird when you're working on the corner, because you get this bit bent thing, but don't worry, that's normal. And you always do through 2, through 2, through 2, and through 2. And we do it once again. So pull up a loop, pull up a second loop, pull up a third loop. It's 4 loops. Maybe one day I will learn how to count, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be this day. We go through the last stitch here. Oh, that's the wrong stitch. I'm sorry. Nope, it's the right stitch. And we pull up a loop and we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go with the slip stitches once again. 1 slip stitch, 2 slip stitches, 3 slip stitches, and then the 4th will go on the top of that other square. So this was the side of our square, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. We should go into this stitch with a slip stitch, and that's the corner of your bag, which is this one. So this is where we have to do a color change, and how I like to do them is, instead of pulling up that last slip stitch, I will go into the stitch, but instead of pulling up that dark blue yarn, I'll take my other color, I'll just hold it like this, I'll rotate once, so just to show that again, we'll go under, flip, rotate, and pull through the loop, through the stitch and through the loop. And then I'm just gonna tighten that blue one. And just to secure it, I'm also gonna do 1 chain and pull that that second color just to secure it. And now you have your first loop of this color, and I'm gonna go same thing as before, go through, but I'm going to carry both of these colors with me just to secure them. Yarn over, pull through, go in. Now we're gonna put them down, yarn over, pull through, next one, go through the stitch, carry this with me, carry these 2 colors with me, yarn over, pull through. Now that we have 4, I'll go into the side of the next square, so I'll go into this stitch here, I'm still carrying my yarn on the back, yarn over, pull through, and then we do the usual through 2, through 2, through 2, and through 2. Just make sure your tension on both stitches here when you attach the yarn is right and you're happy with it, and they're not too loose or too tight. Yeah, we do the same thing. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and then we're going to go into the next stitch of that square. So we're going to go into this stitch here, yarn over, pull through, and we're going to do the same thing as before. And once again, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and we'll go through that next stitch. And then yarn over, pull through, 2 at a time. And for the last one, we're going to do the slip stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and into that top corner of the next color 4. And we're gonna go in, and because we need to change colors again, I will leave the light one and I will pick up the dark color and I'll yarn through with that and do my slip stitch with that color. And in the back, you can leave it like that, or you can carry it all the way through these stitches just to hide it better. And then we continue doing the same thing with this one. Go through, carry the other color with you, pull through, go in, pull through, go in, carry this, pull through, and into this stitch, pull through, go 1, 2, 3, 4. And you repeat that 1, 2, 3, and into that stitch of the next square. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go with the slip stitches to finish off the square. 3, and then into the top corner of the next square. Right, so you just go around like that and do the color changes. And this is this row here, so this second row. And at the corners you do only one of your first color, and then you have to change color for this one. Then you do 2 of the darker color, change again to the lighter color for 1, change again for 2 of the darker color, 1 of the light color, and then again only this one on the corner. So that's 1 light color, 1 dark, which is this one, and then again 1 light one, and then you repeat the same thing on the other side. And then you go on for the rows again. It doesn't matter where you start your row from, you can attach your yarn wherever you feel is best, and then you go up the rows and do your color changes as you wish. You might want to do less hearts, you might do, I don't know if you can do more hearts without them being too close together, but up to you, surprise me. How I did the hearts and the color changes is just so the light colors don't touch. So if they touch, it's only going to be on a corner, like right here. But I never have, like, let's say another light color here, because it would mess with the shape of this heart. Oh, and also I'm gonna put up a little picture at the end of this video of the bag itself, just so if you want a guide as to where I did the color changes, you guys can go according to that, and hopefully that helps out. So you keep going until you're happy with how deep your bag is, after which, to make the top nice and even, I did these triangles, so which is just half of the squares. So let's pretend this is the top of your bag, and you should have, your entire bag should be zigzagged from the squares. So what I did is you attach your yarn at a corner, just like we've done till now. So you attach your yarn, and you go as you've done till now. So go through the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, the second one, yarn over, pull through, next one, yarn over, pull through, and the next one, yarn over, pull through. And now you have 5 loops on your hook, just as usual. And you go, but what you do now
You yarn over, pull through the first two, you have 4 loops. Do it again, yarn over, pull through the first two, and now that you have 3 loops on your hook, we're going to yarn over and pull through all of them. So you should have something like this. For the second row, we're not going to go into this vertical one, we're going to go into the next one. So we're going to go into that one, yarn over, pull through, go into the next one, whoops, yarn over, pull through, and in the next stitch of the bottom square, yarn over, pull through. And now you have 4 loops on your hook, and we're going to yarn over, pull through the first two, and now that you have 3 loops, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And again, we're not going to go into this first vertical one, we're going to go into the next one. Yarn over, pull through, and then the next stitch of your square below. And now since we only have 3 loops on our hook, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And just as usual, we're going to make a slip stitch connecting it to the bottom square to finish that triangle off. And then you continue the same thing again and again and again. So it makes this nice even edge at the top, where you have just this nice even edge. And I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side of the bag. So on this side, I have 5 from here to here. And on the other side, I have 5 from here to here. At the sides, I have done 3 squares next to them. So if I fold this like this, and you can see where I've done my triangles, on the side of the bag, I've done 1, 2, 3, and then I continued with triangles again. And on the other side, the same thing. So I've done a triangle here. Here are my triangles. And here I start doing 1, 2, 2, 3 squares, and then I continue with the triangles. And that's the top row of your bag. For the next one, to get this like raised nice edge that flows nicely into the strap, on the side, on top of these 3 squares that I was just talking about, I've done another 1, 2 just in between them, and that's it. And then to connect them, I've done 1 triangle in between them, just so it goes nicely into the strap. And the same thing I've done on the other side, where I have the 1, 2, 3 squares. I've done 1, 2 in between them, and then 1 triangle on top. And the last thing we're going to do is the strap of the bag, which is again just Tunisian crochet, but just a big line of it. All right, so now that you have the top triangle, which is on the side of your bag right here, I'll write this triangle. We're going to attach the yarn to the stitch. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches of this triangle. We're going to attach it to the one from the other square next to it. So we're going to attach it to this one. So we're going to attach to that one. And we're going to do the usual of go through, yarn over, pull through 1, 2, third time, and then the last time, 4th one. Now you have 4 loops on your hook. And what we're going to do is almost the same as what we've done till now. But for the first one, we're going to yarn over and pull through only the first loop. And we're going to do the same as before, where we yarn over and pull through 2 loops the rest of the times. Pull through 2, pull through 2. And then we're going to go in again in the vertical loops. So go through, yarn over, pull through 1, and then a second time, and a third time. Now we have 4 loops, and the last one, we're going to go into this vertical one right at the end of the row. So if you look at it from the side, there's something resembling a stitch. We're going to go through this first vertical one. I'm going to yarn over, pull through. You should have 5 loops. We're going to yarn over, pull through the first one just by itself, and then we're going to go through 2, and again through 2, and again through 2, and again through 2. And just to do that one more time with you guys, we're going to go through the first vertical loop, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on our hook, do it again, 3 loops on our hook, do it again, 4 loops on our hook, 4 loops on our hook, sorry, and again we're going to go through that last vertical one right here. So right at the edge of the row, I'm going to go through that one, pull through. Now that we have 5 loops, we're going to go just through the first one, and then we're going to go through 2, and again through 2, and again through 2, and again through 2. That is going to be your strap. So you just chain it as long as you want it. So if you want it longer, if you want it shorter, all up to you. You just chain it, and at the other end you just attach it by stitching it with a needle. And what I did to just get it a bit stronger, because once you have it, once you've attached it to the other end, it's just going to be flat like this. So to give it this small round shape, I've just stitched the 2 ends together, so it made a tube almost sort of shape. So I've just taken a needle, turned it over to the wrong side, and I've stitched, I stitched this loop to the stitches we have on this side, and that closes it up. So I've just gone along the entire length and just stitched it up like that. And that is it. That is how you make this little pretty bag just in time for Valentine's, hopefully, because I might be a single Pringle, but at least I will be a single Pringle in style. And if you stayed this long, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I hope this was helpful. I'm happy to answer questions if you guys have any, if I've missed something, if missed explaining something. Hope you've enjoyed your beverages. My coffee is almost finished. I'll see you next time. Deuces.